Hi friends, I'm Kaidy and welcome back to Feenyx Jewelry for another wire wrapping tutorial. So before we get things started, I just want to take some time to say thank you to everyone who has been interacting with my recent posts. I did a poll about just asking you guys, what kind of content you want to see on the channel, and I really appreciate you guys taking your time to let me know your feedback and kind of letting me know kind of what you want to see. So I really want to say I appreciate that and thank you guys so much. I also want to call attention to my most recent post that I made on Monday talking about fall. If you love fall like I do, then you know all the fall feels are happening now. So a lot of what I've been creating has been very fall inspired, at least very cosmic and celestial kind of inspired, because that's how I've been feeling. I've been feeling the moons and the stars and all of those cosmic feels for fall. So if you feel the same way, like let me know in the comment section. Like, what do you guys think? In any case, on my last post, I shared with you guys some of the pendants that I've been making. I've been making quite a few crescent moon pendants, and I shared with you guys some of the trial and errors because I feel like I need to show that as part of the design process. So if you guys would love to follow along making this crescent moon pendant, go ahead and stay tuned, and I can't wait to share with you guys how to make it. See you in a little bit. Okay guys, so here we are at my work desk, and what I'm gonna be using today, or what you'll be needing for this project today, are, you can use just about any wire that you want. I would suggest using maybe starting at 20 gauge to 18 or 16 gauge. Of course, the harder the wire gets, or the thicker the wire gets, the harder it's gonna be to work with. So today I'm just going to be using the 16 gauge wire. Of course, you'll need your wire cutters, some pliers. These are, I think, needle nose pliers, and my nylon jaw pliers, as well as my round tip pliers. I'm also going to use my, you don't need to do this. I do this to harden my wire, but since it's 16 gauge, I really don't need to harden it, but I might add some texture and a little bit of hammering to my piece today. So I'm gonna need my ball peen or my hammer and my metal block. So I'm gonna be using those. And I also have my ruler here, so I can measure out how much wire I need. And to make the circular part of the crescent moon, I also have my ring mandrel. This has been making it super easy for me to work with my wire and get that circular shape that I'm looking for. So I suggest having this around, especially if you're making rings. You definitely need something that can be adjustable in size. So I'm going to be cutting off about 8 to 10, depending on how big you want your, my wire is still bent up, but depending on how big you want your moon to be, you can cut it however long, but I think I'm just gonna do like maybe 8 to 10 inches. First, I'm gonna straighten this out. I find that it's easier to straighten it on the spool than when you take it off, because it's hard to grip once you cut the wire that the amount of wire that you're going to use from the spool. It's a little bit harder to straighten out. So just a tip to, straighten it while it's on the spool. I think that's pretty good for me. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this. I'm going to do 10 inches actually. Yeah, I'm gonna do 10 inches just because it's better to be safe than sorry. So I'm just gonna cut that much out. And I'm switching my pliers around so I cut so when I cut, I don't have that, I have a flat edge when I cut using that part of the wire or the pliers. gonna put this to the side. I hope you guys are doing great. I've really missed making my videos. I've really missed you guys, but like I've been making, you know, different posts and stuff and interacting in different ways while I launch my Shopify store. So I'm happy to be back doing this and kind of, you know, engaging with you guys again. And yeah, I hope you guys are excited for the videos and the upcoming ones. So now that I have my piece of wire, I'm gonna go ahead and find the center of it. You know, eyeball it if you'd like, or measure it out if you're, you know, it will bother you to not measure it. So I'm just gonna fold this in half. I'm gonna squeeze this part down a little bit. Until I have something like that. Okay. Then I'm gonna start off, I feel like making the tip. This is gonna be the tip of the crescent moon at the bottom. So I feel like starting this part off, I like to use my round nose pliers to get that beginning circular shape. So I'm just gonna slip it between the two prongs here and just start rounding it out. And once I have something that looks like that, I'm gonna grab my ring mandrel and complete the circle. So I guess I'm gonna stick with the number 10 and just start making that circular shape around. And I'm gonna pull it all the way around until it kind of, maybe not all the way, but you know, 3/4 of a circle. And I want to stop just right where the top, sorry, that blurred out a little bit. Just right where the top starts to meet right there. So now that I have the circle the way I want it, I'm gonna grab the top piece of the wire, this one right here, the shorter piece, and I'm just gonna start pulling forward. Oh wow. And pull forward until I have something like that. So now that we have that part of the pendant done, I'm gonna move into making the bail. And so I'm gonna grab my, so right about here, right about there is where I want to create my bail. I just want the bail to sit right on top of the bottom part of the crescent moon. So I'm going to start with my top wire first, and I'm just going to turn it that way. So we have something that looks like that. I'm going to just try and straighten this out just a tad because it looks like it's curving a little bit too much for me. So we have that. Then right where these two wires are meeting, just gonna grab right here and do the same as the previous wire and turn that up. Upwards. Until they sit next to each other like that. Now, all the trial and errors that I showed you guys in my last post, this has been the easiest way I've found for myself to make it. So yeah, because all the other ones were not, all the other processes and yeah, design process was not working out. So this is the one that I feel like might be a little bit, for a beginner, easier to follow along with. And yeah, If I were going to maybe make some swirls along this or create more design features to the pendant, I could probably use this extra wire, but what I'm gonna do is gonna be super simple. I'm just gonna pull this one forward a little bit. I'm gonna use my pliers to hold the two necks together right here so they don't slip. I'm just going to start wrapping this around. Because it's a thicker wire, it's like I said earlier, it's going to be a little bit harder to work with. So I'm just using my pliers to help me guide the wire around and tighten it so they sit nice and snug right on top. So that's what we have so far. I'm going to make about 3 rotations around. Pliers definitely help to get it nice and snug. Otherwise it's just gonna look nice and bulky. Or not nice, but just bulky. And I'm just gonna go around one more time. I'm just gonna go ahead and cut my wire. I'm using the flush part of the wire cutter. So when I cut right here, I get like a nice flat and even cut. So I'll show you the difference. Like right there, you can see that that's not flat. It's like sharp edge to it. And then right there, I don't know if you guys can see that, that's fairly flat. I'm just gonna take my pliers and just finish that off. And I made sure that, I finished the loop in the back of the pendant. So when I create the bail, which is gonna be this main part where the chain goes through, that it sits right on top of that and kind of hides it a little bit. So the next thing I'm gonna do is bend this wire forward. And I definitely could have used less wire, obviously, but like I said, better safe than sorry. And I'll always use these to make, like, if I have extra wire, I'll use it to make jump rings or whatever the case is. So I'm gonna cut and leave myself about maybe a 1/2 inch so I can make my loop. Yeah, I'll cut about that. Then I'm gonna take my pliers, my round nose pliers. I'm gonna grip right here. And I'm gonna make my initial turn. So I have something like that. Then I'm gonna move up a little bit to create a smaller loop, And I'm just gonna roll it right in. And that's it right there. I'll take the pliers and kind of straighten it out a little bit. And there you have it. We have our nice little crescent moon right here. I'm gonna round this out just a little bit. Feels a little off to me. And there you have it, guys. So what I'm gonna do now is I wanna add just a little bit of detail to it. I wanna add like a little bit more texture and stuff. So I'm gonna go in and hammer just these two parts right here. And all that's left to do is add us a chain. And we're good to go. Super easy, super beginner friendly, and now you have a really cute crescent pendant. So that's it for today's video, guys. This was a very simple and beginner friendly tutorial, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have a different way of making the crescent moon, or if you have a different design process, I'd love to hear about it. I'd love to see how you make it. And yeah, leave me a comment in the comment section, any feedback you have. But also, don't forget to like the video, don't forget to subscribe, and I can't wait to see you guys in another one. Bye.